Welcome to another episode of the Rise and Thrive podcast. I'm your host, Manny Fraser, and today I'm going to talk to you about something that I know that this is what people are dealing with. I want to talk about why most personal trainers fail, okay? Especially in their first year. Year number one. Most of them don't even make it past the first 6 months, okay? So most personal trainers don't fail because they're bad at training. They fail because they never learned how to get clients, okay? Let me say that again. You can be a great coach, know your programming, understand anatomy, and have zero skills on how to make money or make absolutely nothing. And there's countless amount of trainers that are online, that are in the social media ecosystem, and they are consistently posting about training people, but they're not charging anybody. So I've been in the industry for 13 years professionally. I've watched the same pattern over and over and over again. Motivated trainer comes in, energy's high and through the roof. Belief is high, then reality hits. They get no clients, they have no income, and no direction. And within a year, they're gone. So today, I want to break down why this actually happens. Not theory, real reasons. And if you understand these early, you give yourself a massive advantage. Okay, point number one. You were trained to coach, not build a business. So here's your first problem. You were educated on training bodies. And this is more of whether you took 10 fitness and health promotion, exercise science, or a CanFit Pro or ACE course or any sort of certification course, a lot of the courses, they teach you around training the body, which is great, but this doesn't build a client base. Think about it like this. You learned anatomy, you learned programming, you learned movement, but nobody sat you down and taught you, here's how you start a conversation off the gym floor. How to turn that into a consultation, how to guide someone through a decision process, and how to follow up with them when they say, I'll think about it. So what do most trainers do? They wait and they stand around and they hope that people ask them for help. And that almost never happens. This is the shift you don't learn. This is the shift, okay? If you don't learn how to get clients, you don't have a career, you have a hobby. I always say this. Until someone hires you, you don't have a job. Right? So even if I hired someone to work in this big box gym, and I'm like, here you are, here's your name tag, here's your uniform, let's go. You all I've done is give you access to come in here. But you know what you don't have yet? You don't have any jobs. You need to get contracts. In order to get contracts, you need to talk to people. In order to talk to people, you need to get out there and get over yourself. I was actually talking with one of my a colleague here, and he's an entrepreneur. He owns several restaurants. We were talking about anxiety and how anxiety is a state of anxiousness that someone has. Like they have it. It's real. It's a real thing. And it's a superpower. And without actually being able to harness it and use it, what ends up happening is it paralyzes and cripples people. And the reason why is because, yes, you can have anxiety. Anxiety is very real. I have anxiety. And I say this from a point of view, everyone has it to a certain degree, but it's not about having it, it's about what you do with it, right? So what the thing is that labeling it or saying what it is one thing, but allowing it to cripple you is another thing. So allowing it to stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you, nothing else. So no anxiety can actually stop you. And you might say, Manny, I have this crippling anxiety where I don't want to leave my house and I don't want to do anything. That's still your decision. And I don't want to say this from a point of view of like, you got to pull your own bootstraps up and start going. But the reality is at some point, that anxiety that's inside of you that is showing you is something that's angst. You're anxious. And the reason why that's there is because the fact that your preparation, you're thinking about the worst thing that can happen. What's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that the person says no. So moving on, right? So the way I conquer it is just by doing the opposite. So if my body's telling me don't do that, I'm not doing anything bad here. So at that point, all I'm doing is saying, hey, how's it going? Oh my gosh, that was so hard. Yeah, it was hard, but it gets easier. So if I've seen trainers who are average coaches, okay, build full schedules. And trainers who are elite struggle to get one client. That's not a knowledge problem. It's just a communication problem. That's getting over yourself. So now, once you understand that, the second mistake becomes very obvious, okay? Ready for the point number 2? Point number 2 is this. You think your job is to write workouts. Most trainers believe my job is to design programs and coach sessions. That's part of your job. But that's not what people are paying you for. Your real job is solving problems. You're a problem solver, okay? Get this in your mind. Your job is to solve problems. People come to you with problems that they have. 3 problems that people are going to come with you is this. They're going to have a void in their life. They have some virtue that they want to be able to attain, or they have a vision for their life that they want to be able to get to. And their main goal is for you to help them with those 3 things. Once you understand that you're solving the problem of the void and that's in someone's life, and you're showing them that, hey, I can help you and you can trust me, and then you're casting that vision for them, guess what? You got a client for life. Clients don't walk into gyms thinking about sets and reps. They're thinking, I hate how I look right now. My back hurts. I have no energy to be able to do anything. I keep starting and stopping. My mental health is getting shaken right now. I don't feel confident. I feel lazy at work. I feel tired every day at 2 o'clock. That's what they're buying help for. That's the problem. And the thing is that they come in and say, I just want to get fit. And what that tells you is that they don't really trust you yet. So you got to figure out how to get that actual information from them. The workout is not the product. The outcome is the product. It's intangible, okay? If I can't clearly understand their problem, then I can't help them. You can't confidently sell a solution if you don't understand the problem. And you're selling the solution. So in order to help someone, sell the solution. And if you can't do that, guess what? You'll always feel awkward asking for the sale, because the reality is this, okay? I'll repeat it all in this one little box for you. If you can't clearly understand their problem, you can't confidently sell their solution. And if you can't do that, you'll always feel awkward asking for the sale. Asking for the sale will always feel like something that is off to you because of the fact that you don't feel confident. That's okay. Because you know what? Here's the thing. At some point, you will feel confident if you stick to it and actually, let's say, test yourself, but try. Like, push yourself, man. Okay. Now, here's where most trainers get frustrated. This number 3, okay? Point number 3 is probably where most trainers get frustrated. You expect results too fast. I hired a trainer today. I didn't hire a trainer today, but let's say I hired a trainer today. They expect to be a trainer that's working 120 plus hours with 15 clients. It's all going to happen within a month because they're the outlier. As someone who was the outlier and had all the odds against them, I'm telling you right now, I know what an outlier looks like. And it's very rare that you run into them. An outlier is someone that picks up on the whole thing real fast. And generally speaking, I would say like this, your willingness to learn has to be stupid high, and your skill doesn't matter. Or your skill is very high and your willingness is very high, right? And your willingness to learn. But if you have low skill and a low willingness to learn or challenge yourself, this is not going to be a great career. Because what's going to end up happening is you're not going to challenge yourself. And you're going to be scared. And I understand it's frightening to be able to do certain things, but like the same thing that's frightening is the same thing that is stopping you from doing something is the same thing that can get you to do something. So going back to the point number 3 is that you expect results too fast. This one kills a lot of careers early. Most trainers walk in thinking, I need to make money right away. Sorry, wrong industry. Go find another industry. You want to make money right away? Go work at McDonald's. You know why? They pay you per hour. They'll pay you right away. But in personal training, it's not like that. It happens once you get a contract, someone actually says, I want you as my trainer. Right? And so when people don't make money right away, they think something's wrong. It must not be working. I've talked so many trainers off the ledge because like, I'm not doing well. It's like, okay, well, what have you done? I tried to talk to people. Okay, well, how many people did you talk to? I talked to one person. So what's stopping you, right? The one thing about personal training, I would say like this, it is the biggest self-development journey you're ever going to have for yourself. Are you ready to take yourself on a self-development journey? Are you ready to actually make yourself, I won't say make yourself, but like become a better version of yourself? Like, who are you when no one's looking? Right? And a lot of times what happens is like a lot of people don't take that self-development journey and they wonder why they're stuck. It's because the skill set that you have might have got you in the door and got the uniform and got the name tag, but the skill set you have isn't the thing that's going to keep you as a trainer. You're going to need to grow. And whether you like it or not, anything you do in life, you're going to need to grow. A couple good books, like one good book that really helped me, and it's not for everybody, but it helped me a lot, was Winning by Tim Grover. It's a mindset book that really helps you focus on the mindset that you need to have while coming into this place. I'm looking at my books right now. I have a bunch of books up there. And that book really helped me. There's tons of books that help me, but I'd say that book helped me the most because it's a unapologetic list of things that winners do or feel. And I feel a lot of the same things. And at that point, I'm like, wow, this book gets me. I get this book. That's how I feel. And you think you're alone, but you're not. You're not alone, okay? Your first year is not about income. It's about building leverage. Here are the 3 things that matter. So before I list them, I want you to get a pen and paper. If you don't have a pen and paper, pause this recording right now and get a pen and paper. Write this down, okay? Here are the 3 things that matter for you to be able to get results. 1, skill. Okay, so here's the skills that matter. Learning how to talk to people. Learning to ask better questions. Learning how to handle objections. And learning how to close. Okay? If you learn those 4 skills, you will become a better trainer. Learning how to talk to people alone is literally half the job. Because as soon as I hire someone, you know what I do? There's a question on my interview, and if you're ever did an interview with me, it's a question that says like this: okay, your job is to go around talking to people and prospect people, and you're going to have a conversation with this person. I want you to have this conversation. So I get a member of the staff to stand on the treadmill, and they go and I listen to how they have the conversation. And that's the job. And now it's like, the job is to do that 70% of the time. And I say 70% of the time. So 70% of your day is just talking to gym members. That's it. So when people are like, I don't want to, it's like, very confused here, because when you were hired or when you're going in for your interview, I said 70% of your job is going to be talking to people. And now all of a sudden, this is something that is difficult. And you know what it is? A lot of people take this job because it's something they want. It's a dream. But then when they're living in it, they're like, this is harder than I thought. Because it goes back to the same thing what I said, which is this. This is going to be a self-development journey. If you refuse to self-develop, you are going to find this difficult. But the reason why you're finding it difficult is because you're refusing to work on yourself. You need to work on yourself like this: mental, physical, spiritual. Mental, physical, spiritual, okay? And do with that what you will, but you're gonna need to do that. You need to find ways to grow. So reputation. Number 2, this is another thing that you need in terms of the 3 things that matter in terms of building this business and how you're not gonna fail. Reputation, your first year. So this thing matters, especially in the first year. Your first clients determine everything. If they win, you win. If they don't, you restart. So you build a client roster, right? You get 50 to 60 renewals, 50 to 60% on renewals, right? 70 to 80 is great. It's gold standard. 80 to 90, that is amazing. And if you can get 80 to 90, it means that you just pretty much kept most of your clients and you don't need to rebuild. You just need to find 1 or 2 clients. That can happen, but it's going to require you to take this seriously from day one and understand, A, that you don't know everything, and then you're on a constant self-development journey. Okay? Number 3, and this is the last thing that you're going to get out of your first year in trying to build: confidence. Confidence does not come from hype. It comes from reps. Talking to more members, running consults, hearing no, getting better. Rinse and repeat. Talking to members, running consults, hearing no, getting better. Keep doing that same cycle over and over and over again. That's what's going to help you and grow in your confidence. Like, so your first year, so back to the first year, your first year is about this: acquiring the skill sets, building a reputation, and getting more confidence. That's it. Most trainers quit before these three things compound. That's why they never see an upside. I've seen tons of trainers come in and they don't work on the skill set of talking to people. They don't ask better questions. They don't even try and overcome objections. Therefore, they don't close. They don't build a reputation because the fact that they don't ask questions, and they let everyone walk. And therefore, they have no confidence because the fact that they haven't built a reputation. They didn't learn how to handle objection, and everyone keeps on saying no to them because they haven't gotten better. They're not used to hearing no, and they're still not used to hearing no. Okay? That's why they never see the upside. So I've seen trainers struggle for months. Then all of a sudden, this clicks. Okay? They get better at conversations. They get sharper in consults. And then they start signing clients. And everything changes. But most people quit before that moment shows up. You cannot quit. And a lot of times it's just that you gotta be the longest one standing there. I've legit, and I can give you tons and tons of different stories about trainers, personal trainers who I've seen in and out of this whole thing. And the ones that do really well, they just take this like a real job, right? It's entrepreneurial, yes, but it's a real job like anything else. It's just abstract, and you're creating everything. Okay. If you're in your first year right now, you're not failing. You're just early. Your job right now is not to be perfect. It's to become better at talking to people, better at understanding problems, better at guiding decisions. Because once you stack those skills, this stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a career. Okay. If you're a trainer and you actually want to build a client base, follow Gym Sales Coach right now. My next episode, I'm breaking down the sales reality most trainers avoid. Peace.